So, hello everyone. I'm here today to help you understand how you can break down a question or how you can better understand a question. And for that, I'm going to show you my method of how I read a question, of how I break down the question, and you can aim to achieve something around the same, around the same way or the try to achieve in the same perspective. So this is a question that you've already done, question 6 that you see on your screen. You've already done it, already submitted it, and I've already marked it for you. So when you receive this, how I break down the question video that I'm just making or I'm just doing right now, you will understand how my process differs from you and how I am able to quickly break down the question the way I want to, or the way I, just making sure that I understand every word of the question. So let me read the question. I'll start from obviously reading the question. We always do that. So Indra Nui, the senior finance manager, has called you to a meeting. We have just acquired a construction toy manufacturer in Zealand who specializes in eco-friendly character kits production. I would like your assistance with two issues we need to consider for the consolidation of Golden Bricks into Priblox's financial statements. So, see, when I read something important, I take a note of it or I at least put it down. So, in my answer sheet or in the place where I write my answer, I can make points that will help me remember, right? So, the theme of the question is consolidation. Okay, I have put that down over here. I'll increase the handwriting a little bit so everybody can see. So theme of the question is consolidation. I'm only making points right now. This is not the task. I have attached a summary of the sum of the findings of the review undertaken by a firm of independent accountants before the acquisition. So I'll write down, I have to read the summary which has been attached. Okay, so I know that I'm not missing anything. Next, please send me an email which addresses the requirements of each issue. So now comes the task. So I will write down task 1. I know this is what I'm supposed to answer. Determination of the functional currency of Golden Brinks. This is straight out of your F2 syllabus. If F2 has not been done, not been revised, I don't expect you to write a good answer or a well-informed answer here. So determination of functional currency. Task 1 is determination of functional currency. Okay. So let me read it. Golden Bricks prepares its financial statements in G dollars, which is currency of Zealand. So currently, I'll write GB. Golden Bricks prepares in G dollars. Priblox prepares in V dollars. So Priblox prepares in V dollars. Priblox has agreed to provide any loan finance Golden Bricks needs. I would like you to discuss and conclude. So discuss and conclude being a good word here because you have to give a recommendation based on part 1 of the review extracts, whether the functional currency will be G dollar or V dollar. Conclude whether functional currency will be G dollar or V dollars. And for this, I have to look at part 1 of the review extracts which have been given. So further breaking it down, before I go to the extract, let me know, or let me just write down the task 1 is 45% of the marks. So if this is 25 marks, 45 upon 100, 45 upon 100 into 25 gives you roughly 11 marks. So I will have to write 5 to 6 points maximum. Fine, I know that. See, I've broken down the question. Let me go to the extract. So part one of the extract is what I'm supposed to read. And part one is all customers pay Golden Bricks in G dollars. So task one, I will write down task one answer points. Now, whenever you're reading the question, if some answer points come to you, write it down. So Golden Bricks is paid in G dollars. Cash held is in G dollars. Golden Bricks pays its staff, electricity, gas bills in G dollars. Golden Bricks try to source goods and service locally, but most of the supplies are imported from Veranda, and Golden Bricks pays these invoices in V dollars. Fine. If you're importing something, you pay in V dollars, and tax is paid to the Zealand tax authority. So everything is happening in G dollars except for import of goods. Import of goods is correct. It could be in the importing country's currency, but everything else is in G dollars. So I have to tell them, according to task one over here, that I need to discuss and conclude whether functional currency will be G dollars or V dollars. And from my F2 syllabus, I know that when I'm deciding the functional currency, I will speak about the revenue that GB earns. I will speak about cost that GB incurs. I will speak about tax that GB pays. All of this is in G dollars, and hence functional currency will be G dollars. So revenue, cost of factors of production, the tax, the electricity, all of that is in G dollars, and it fulfills the criteria of functional currency. So as you can see, I broke down the question and my points are also ready. This is what I will write. Let's say one point is less, you're not able to recall it. Then okay, skip it and move on. So I'm now moving on to planning of task 2. For task 2, let me go back. Task 2 was impact on the acquisition on the consolidated financial statements of Priblocks. So task 2 is acquisition accounting, impact on financial statements. I'll correct my spellings right here. So acquisition accounting, impact on financial statements. Please also explain with reasons what the impact of part 2 of the review extracts will be. I would like to know the impact on both the computation of goodwill. So impact on computation of goodwill and post acquisition profits. They have clearly asked you that look at the review, but I would like the impact on computation of goodwill and post acquisition profits. This is 55% of the marks, so this is your remaining 14 marks. Good 6 to 7 points again. I will write 6 to 7 points maximum, nothing more than that. And then I come to task 2, answer points. So task 2, answer points. I am now coming on to, I will read the part 2 which has been given to me. So carrying amount of assembly, fittings, packing machines, fittings with the remaining useful life of G dollar 1.25 million. Fair value of these assets. So they've told me carrying value of assets is 1.25. Fair value is 1.45 million. So I know that there will be a difference over here. This is an increase in fair value. So the increase in fair value will be recorded in your financial statements. It has to be recorded. So this is your first, I will say effect because of acquisition accounting. Secondly, Golden Bricks arranged customer service training courses for all staff. The skills required are expected to enhance the future revenues of the companies. So fair value of the courses, course FV is 150K, also will be recorded. Next, Golden Bricks is involved in a legal case relating to a customer whose claims to have had severe breathing issues after accidentally chewing one of our products, which fell into the customer's food plate while the child was playing. So there is going to be a claim, a legal claim. Nobody knows how much, what will be the amount, nothing has been given. So contingent liability is what they are speaking about. Next, Golden Bricks are being sued for a loss of earnings for the guest caused by alleged breathing difficulties. Golden Bricks lawyers have estimated that there will be a 40% chance, only a 40% chance that the case will go through. So you will have to explain if a contingent liability, emerges or not. They have advised that this case does go against Golden Bricks, then the amount awarded will be maximum of 100,000. Golden Bricks has made no provision relating to the case in its individual statements, but has disclosed it as a potential liability. So it's already recorded, already disclosed. Golden Bricks estimates that the future value of this potential liability at the date of acquisition by Priblocks is 36,000. So fair value of CL, I'll say contingent liability, is 36K. This is what they've given me. So I know that when I'm discussing the equity accounting or acquisition accounting over here, I will first have to speak about the fair value, which I have done in my model answer as well. I will just show it to you. So first of all, they want computation of goodwill as well, as you can see over here, right? So I'll give the heading goodwill. The goodwill is calculated the difference between the fair value of the consideration paid to acquire the 100% holding and the fair value of the net assets. So how much you paid minus the value of the assets is the goodwill. The values that have been mentioned could potentially be reflected in the goodwill calculation because there is an adjustment on assets over here. The fair value of assets is going up. So when your consolidated financial statements are prepared, the goodwill is calculated in G dollars, but then it will be translated to V dollars using the historic rate. Each year, the goodwill is retranslated into V dollars using the year-end closing rate. Exchange differences will go to group reserves. So they wanted to know how goodwill will be accounted for when the acquisition happens. So you will tell them that when the acquisition happens, goodwill is first calculated in G dollars. It's then translated to V dollars. And then every year you will be doing the same. At the end of the year, the goodwill is retranslated. The difference goes to group reserves. That's what they wanted from you, right? Now coming on to the fair value. So the fair value has gone up by 0.2 million. The upliftment in the fair value will have to be calculated. This will reduce the current value of goodwill. The value of the group's non-current assets will increase by 0.2 million, obviously. There will be an additional depreciation charge on this. That also you will have to tell them. Same way, the training costs. The training costs are not an asset because, how is the training cost an asset? It is only a cost. So it will be expensed in your statement of profit or loss. That has been explained. So course fair value, which is 150K, will be expensed in your profit or loss. Same way with the contingent liability. The contingent liability will be disclosed in the notes to the Golden Bricks financial statements. It's not a provision. You don't have to recognize it. On acquisition, the fair value of this contingent liability is deducted from the fair value of Golden Bricks net assets, resulting to the increase in value of goodwill. Because when you remove something from the fair value of your net assets, your goodwill calculation automatically changes. So remember, on acquisition, the fair value of the liability is deducted from the value of the net assets. The fair value estimated by Golden Bricks is 36,000. This is recognized as a current liability and is added to current liabilities of the group in the consolidated statement of financial position. When or indeed if the case is settled in the future, The difference between the liability recognized and any cash paid to the customer will be recorded as a post acquisition adjustment in your profit or loss directly. Whatever, if you pay less, if you pay more, goes to your profit or loss, debit side or credit side, depending on how much you pay. So see how each part of the question is broken down. And since when I started, I have spent about 15 minutes. In those 15 minutes, I have planned the answer this way. I have gone through the answer discussion also with you. So let me remove the last 5 minutes. In 10 minutes, I was able to break down the question this way. I was able to break down the question point by point, writing down the important points. So if you can do that, if I can do that, you can do that. Because if it takes 10 minutes, you still have 35 full minutes remaining with you. Let's say you take 5 minutes more, 15 minutes gone, you still have exactly 30 minutes. And in those 30 minutes, if you have a typing speed of 50 words per minute, you end up writing 1500 words. And over here, you don't even need to now go back to the question, because as part of these points that I have written on the left hand side, each and everything that the exam requires has been covered, because the question has been written. What I have to write, that also I have thought. What I have, how much I have to write, that also I have thought. But you can see how quick my thought process is. That's how quickly F2 should come to you when you reach this question. Otherwise you'll get stuck. Even if you use 5 minutes more, do that, but plan your answer this way so you don't miss anything, so you understand this is my question, so you understand this is what they want, because this is going to be how the exam is going to ask you questions exactly like this. This is the quality, this is the difficulty, this is what it is. So if you break down the question this way, you cannot make mistakes. And like I've mentioned, your E2, P2 and F2 is vital. Without that, the exam is any which way is going to be difficult. So hope this has helped. Let this sink in. Go through this again if you like, but see how quick my thought process is. And this is what I want you to learn. Thank you.